Hey everybody, I'm Christy Jordan with southernplate.com, and this is part of my vlog every day in May challenge. It has not been every day lately because I've been on the road, and so I'll just catch up when I get around to catching up. I'm actually in Louisville, Kentucky right now at the historic Brown Hotel, which is a beautiful hotel. This is where the hot brown sandwich was invented, and I'm here with some friends. I always look at my hair and these things. I'm here with some friends, and we're actually going to split a hot brown tonight. Leah from All South Appliances, which is a major appliance store throughout Alabama, and Stacy Little from Southern Bite. So they're going to all come up to my room in a little bit, and we're going to split a hot brown sandwich. Stacy's texting me now. So, we're going to try. Gosh, this drove me crazy, y'all. I'm just going to start doing vlogs in baseball caps. But we are actually here with GE, General Electric. We're here for General Electric. We're here for their Monogram event, and we've got to learn all about their Monogram line of appliances. And wow. And I'm going to tell you the one thing that really stuck out for me is this technology I did not know existed. It's they have this thing called the Advantium oven. And it is basically, it's the size of a microwave. It cooks things, it can cook things in a quarter of the time. It uses 3 or 4 different types of heat. So it's basically like a convection oven, but it can crisp and it cooks things thoroughly. So it can be a microwave, it can be a steam oven, it can be a warming door, anything. It's like, if I had this oven, I don't know that I'd use my oven anymore. But we experimented with things in it. So one of the things is we put a frozen pizza in there. Took a couple minutes to cook. It tasted like it was takeout delivery pizza. It was crisp, perfect. The bread was, it was just right. We did frozen chicken tenders, and they were crispy, cooked through. It was awesome. And then the thing that really blew me away is they put a steak in there, and there's actually a steak setting. And I was just like, I like steak, and I'm not trying that steak because that is going to ruin steak for me. But I tried a bite, and oh my gosh, it just melted in your mouth. It was kind of a little charred on the outside and tender on the inside. I was not the least bit tough. It was very tender. It was better than a steak you cook on the grill, and it was weird. I don't even expect y'all to believe me because I wouldn't have believed me. I wouldn't have believed this if I hadn't have tried it for myself. There was even a grilled cheese. They cooked a grilled cheese in there. Because of the way the heat works in this oven and the different types of heat, it can do all that. It was crazy. So you could have a casserole, like a 9 or 13 casserole that takes 30 minutes to cook. You could have that done in less than 10 minutes. And it has the texture and the flavor as if it had been cooked in the oven. It was crazy. It was insane. I want one. But I mean, it was really neat. It'd be a huge time saver. I wish they did more advertising to let people know about this technology. Just blew me away. Anyway, okay, so today's question of the day, I believe, or the question that I'm going to answer today is, do you speak any other languages? And actually, I don't currently. I wouldn't say that I speak any other languages. In the past, I have spoken another language fluently, but if you don't use things, they go away. So my other language was, I know sign language. I used to know sign language. I know a little now. I sign very slowly. So that was back in the day. I used to say that I used to be fluent in sign language. I could have conversation. I had conversations in sign language all the time. That was back in the day. I studied it. I started when I was young. I got a book and I taught myself, and then there were some classes at the local library. And then I had a friend who was deaf and spoke exclusively in sign language, and that got me really good at it. But that's been decades. So now I guess I really don't. No, I mean, yeah, I do. I know sign language. And, of course, you can always spell things. You can finger spell things. You never forget the alphabet. And then in high school, I took 2 years of French, which back then, French, the thought of needing French was just as outlandish as the thought of needing Spanish back then. I had never encountered anyone who spoke French or Spanish, so I decided to take French. If I could go back in time, knowing what I know now, I would have taken Spanish. And that's what I encourage my children. Like, if you're going to learn a language, you're going to learn Spanish. Of course, well, my son is in his third year of Latin, and he's doing very well in that. And I think Latin is an extremely useful language to know because it's the root language. And I know back when I was in college, I was a nursing major. I started as a nursing major. And when I was taking my anatomy and physiology classes, you would have to memorize the names of all the muscles and the names of all the bones, and they're Latin. And so I would look it up and see what that name meant, and then that helped me remember what it applied to, because it kind of makes sense. I think, I kept the end of your bone. Now this is years ago, but it's there's some of your bone. The end of it's called a condyle, and that means knuckle, if I'm correct. And so it helped me remember because it looks like a knuckle, But I did a lot of that stuff, and so I think that would help. I think that will be helpful in college. Possibly not in what Brady's going into, but Latin's more useful than French. So, but I remember very little about French. I mean, are there any high school teachers that actually make you learn the language? Not when I was in high school. It was, of course, we had a really sweet teacher, and it was her last 2 years of teaching. So maybe she was just tired. But yeah, we didn't actually learn anything. And I went to a public school. I do think that makes a difference. Okay? That might offend some people. You shouldn't be offended if it does. I'm sorry. It does make a difference. So it's like, we just need to get these kids out of here. We got us another busload of 9th graders coming in. Let's get them out of here. Graduate them. And I know it's really graduate. Anyway, so we've had a really fun time. We've done a lot of videos and things, and I was hoping to be able to kind of produce those and share the videos with you of our trip during our trip, but our days have been very long, and we haven't been getting back to the hotel until like 8 o'clock, which is very late for me. And then we get up. This morning I got up at, I woke up at 3, and I tried to stay asleep. You're not fooling yourself. I'm laying there with my eyes closed. So finally at like 4 o'clock, I thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get up and get ready, and I don't have to be down at the lobby till 7. So I got completely ready, but I knew I was going to be tired because I hadn't slept well. So then I took a nap from like 5 to 5:30. So it's just, it's been long days, but we've learned a lot. We've got to play with a lot of ovens, a lot of new technology. We've got to tour and see some things. We weren't allowed to take pictures and stuff. And I'm going to tell you, some of this technology is amazing. I've also been really impressed with GE's push to bring jobs back to the United States. They admitted that, hey, we outsourced a lot of jobs, and now we're trying to bring them back. So they're doing a lot of innovative new ways to make things more cost effective to build them in the United States. And they're actually building things here now. And they're building, the place we went is called Appliance Park. And it's this huge campus. It actually has its own zip code. And you would be amazed at all the things they built there. And they said just in the next 2 weeks, they're about to hire 200 new people. Another thing that I found out, well, I'm here with Leah from All South Appliances. And she was telling me the reason why she loves GE is because, and this is not a GE commercial, I'm just telling you what I've learned, it's fresh on my mind, is because of the customer service. She said if anybody buys an appliance and has a problem with it, she can contact GE and they will fix it. They will make it right. They will send somebody out. They will fix it. And then there was a couple of very big name appliance brands, very high end. And she said, you don't even feel right selling them because there's no customer service. And I talked to a designer who's here. She actually designs homes for people and appliances and things. And she was telling me there's one brand that she will absolutely tell her customers not to buy because you cannot get service. If anything goes wrong, if you spend $10,000 on this stove and anything goes wrong, you're not going to be able to get any help with it. They will not help you. They will not respond. They will not, And I'm not going to mention a name or anything, but, if you're into Norse mythology or something, but I want to know that. I want to stay away from that, and it was just interesting to learn those things. That's one of the things I found that I save up my money, and if I buy something, I expect it to be in good working order, top of the line. And if I have a problem, I want somebody to help me. That's why I have an Apple computer. I've I've tried other computers, but the fact of the matter is, if I have a problem with my computer, I can call my local Apple store. I can go down there that day, and they will fix it. And I can't get, that kind of service anywhere else. Okay, so I'm just rambling. This is over 10 minutes already. Heading back home tomorrow. Hoping to leave out early. We'll have to see if we get to do that or not. We'll make some stops on the way home. We did not get to go to DoDaddy's on the way up. I'm really hoping we can go to DoDaddy's. And it's in Versailles, Kentucky, but I'm pretty sure they pronounce it Versailles. In Kentucky, they do. And there's this beautiful castle that you pass on the way. And I know a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. So Stacy hasn't ever seen that. I'm hoping to get to show him. It's been funny because we went to Churchill Downs yesterday. And that was really neat. I honestly can tell you, I have never thought about Churchill Downs. I knew that it existed and it was a horse place. So yesterday was really interesting for me. And it was funny because all the horse stuff, and y'all know about me and my history with horses, so it's just like, but we have a good sense of humor about it. I love laughing about it. People giving me a hard time, you're going to get on one, Chris, and all that. It was funny. And so, yeah, that was fun. And no, I'll not be riding a horse ever again. I think they're great, and they just say not have me ride them, and y'all just walk on with your little 4 days. So anyway, I will holler at y'all later. I'm going to get ready to order a hot brown sandwich, and I think they want me to order a piece of Derby pie as well, which we make that in Alabama all the time, but you can't call it Derby pie because it's trademarked. So it's basically a pecan pie with chocolate in it, but technically it's a Derby pie. Anyway, I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all have a good day. I'm going to finish this off and upload it, and I will be home soon. Bye-bye.